Yo, what's going on, guys? Sekapoko here, bringing you any of those 7 Daily Sins Grand Cross video. This will be doing a set of runs over at the Guild Boss, talking about the Guild Boss, everything you need to know as you go through it. And this, I'm hoping, will help you guys out with your Guild Bot teams, giving you other options that you can do, and I'll give you an idea of what to expect that we do on the Japanese version to get the points. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alrighty guys, so I am not in a guild right now on global for the next 6 hours, so I can't actually make any content for guild bosses for global currently, and I can't even look at it, so I gotta wait until I can actually get back into the guild, because we're doing some guild swapping and crazy things happen in between, so I'm like, ah! So, guild boss, let's go ahead and go over it. So there's a couple different things on the guild boss. There are, if we go to the right hand side over here, you'll notice that there'll be a nice little lady that will say, hey, you have guild boss and you have requirements, blah, blah, blah. And in the guild boss, there is a normal, hard, and extreme ranking. In the normal, hard, and on the global version, it looks like from the video we're only going to have the normal version, and we're not going to have the hard or extreme versions. The normal version comes out at a total of 80,000 combat class initially, and then the hard version later on, when we do receive it, is going to be at 120,000 combat class. Last one is going to be the extreme guild boss, which will be at 160,000 combat class. And this is going to be very, very difficult for a lot of players to do on the global version, but will be very easy for players to do on the Japanese version based on where we are. So I'll go over guild boss and the rewards that we can get for guild boss. So going into guild boss, there are a lot of different rewards that you can actually get. You'll notice you get UR chests, there's SR medals here that we're going to be getting for the guild boss rewards. So going into the guild boss, we're going to talk about the ranking system and how it works. And with the way it works in the Japanese version is to be very similar to the way it works in the global version. So you'll notice there's going to be a top 100 list that you're actually going to default to when you get to the guild boss. And notice that when you see all these characters, you'll see them at very, very high point values. Actually, currently, which is really funny, since the guild boss just came out today again, right now we're ranked 45th in the world, and Guild Gazers and Clover, where you at? I'm just playing. We all playing global right now anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. We're just a meme, guys. Don't at me. Don't at me. I love you guys. I love you guys. We're going into the guild boss. You can see that we're all trying hard and pushing hard. But the way the guild boss is going to work out for all players is there are going to be different coin values you're actually going to get. The only 3 places that it actually matters is the first place guild is going to get an extra 1,000 Knighthood coins. The second place guild boss team is going to get 800, and the third place is going to get 700. Everybody else who's in the top 0% or 1% of the guild boss is actually going to receive 600 guild coins. So being in the top 100 really doesn't do anything for you. It's just a flex, and it's just fun. But if you do get into top 1% of guild bosses, you will get 600 Knighthood coins every single week. So that's actually a significant amount, and we'll go over Knighthood coins and what to spend them on and all the fun things there. Between 2 and 10%, you're going to be getting 400 Knighthood coins, and between 11 and 30%, you get 200, and below that, you get much, much, much less. But no matter what, everyone does receive something, so just know that it's not going to be terrible if you don't receive all your Knighthood coins. It's going to be just some that you'll get, and then obviously it's better to get more. You'll also see on the third tab where you rank in your guild, and you can see a lot of people that are doing the guild boss. Right now, Kurumi, of course, here has done the guild boss. He's got 3,600 points from doing all the difficulties. And we got some other people here in the guild, in my Japanese guild, that are doing very, very well. There's other people that are plebs here that haven't even touched the guild boss, or people, who are way down here who have not even logged in yet. Damn it, Zen. I mean, Zen, I love you. You didn't tier 3-7 just now. I mean, yeah, Baka, what you jerk. So what are Knighthood coins good for? Well, if you go to your guild boss shop, which will be this icon on your coin, you'll be able to go over here and be able to pick up things. On the tier 1 tab, you can see you get a lot of awakening materials. Level 1 guild boss things, these are ones you're specifically going to get, I believe, the pre-boss stages. And then the level 2 ones, I believe you get these only from the other side of things, which is just the equipment farming. And so these are the way you get these. It might be mixed in between here, or might just be like random, but this is where you get these rewards. Both of these sets of rewards, by the way, are hard skip. Do not buy these with Knighthood coins. They are definitely not worth. Now, on the third tab, when you get to level 4 on your Knighthood, you're able to get ability point potions or stamina potions, and you can buy a maximum of 3 per day. Is that worth it? Fuck yeah. The thing you buy every single day, if you can, is you buy AP potions. Now, there are books available. These are 5-star books available, as well as raid foods. And these raid foods are going to increase the drop rate of your raid bosses. Are these worth doing? No. Do not buy books, and do not buy the raid food. The last thing that you can get out of this level 4 tab is SR medals. Are SR medals worth doing? Yes. For me right now, no. But for everybody else, yes. I mean, I have 100 right now in JP. I mean, I have a full UR box, so I mean, it's not really worth it for me, but for everybody else, yes. Level 6 in the guild is where you start seeing chalices, and you can also get SSR medals. Is that worth doing? Chalices, no. SSR medals, yes. SSR medals are 100% worth getting out of the guild boss. Definitely pick those up. They are the best thing that you can actually do with your guild bod resources. On the final tab, you actually get blue stones for your gear, UR chests, and max route chalices. You can see these are 300 versus the other ones here on this tab at 80, and these are way more worth than actually buying these. But don't buy chalices out of the guild quest coins. Only buy SSR medals and SSR medals, SR medals, and AP pots, because these are non-farmable resources that you cannot get anywhere else. The farmable resources that you can get anywhere else, you should not be buying with Knighthood coins. You should only be buying ability point potions / stamina potions. You should only be buying SSR medals and SR medals, because those are non-farmable refund resources. One of the other things that you get out of the guild boss for doing it just for yourself is you get to fill up this meter. When you complete a certain amount of guild boss runs, you're able to fill up this meter, and it will give you more and more and more rewards. At a certain amount, you actually get SSR medals, you get anvils for your characters, and those things are very, very valuable rewards. So is it worth doing guild boss to get very, very good rewards? Absolutely. You can do these every single week, and if your guild hits the max rank, which is at 3,000 guild points, you actually end up getting an SSR medal. So early on, that's actually a little bit more difficult to obtain, get to the 3,000 points, but as you can see on Japan, one person by himself can actually get to the 3,000 points. So it's really not super difficult now in Japan, and over time it just becomes easier and easier to do and get more and more points. So the last thing, of course, is the rewards we have for self-rewards on the Japanese version, and the self-rewards here go up to 2,200 points, and you can see I've only done 2 difficulties to get to 2,200 points, and you can go a little bit higher to get higher values of points. So going down here, you can see I'm getting 2 UR chests for 300 points. For 600 points, I'm getting 3 SR medals. For 900 points, I'm getting another blue SSR stone. For 1,200 points, I'm getting 50 anvils, which is very, very valuable. For 1,500 points, I'm getting an SSR pendant. For 1,800 points, I'm getting another 50 anvils. And finally, at 2,200 points for the cap value of points, we are getting a total of another SSR medal. So that's the maximum amount of rewards you can get from Guild Boss on the Japanese version. And alright guys, so I'm having a little trouble getting my combat class a little bit lower than what I need here. So I think what I'll do is on certain characters like, I don't know, Gustav, I'll just remove the support. The support and King. Maybe that'll help me out get the combat class a little lower. So for the guild boss, there's a lot of different ways of doing it, and one of the ways of doing it is going to involve freezing the boss and doing lots of damage with your skills. Buffs don't matter, of course. There's a lot of different ways of getting around that. So the main thing is there are 3 main factors to getting score in the guild boss. One is the point value that you get from the cards that you're using. 2 is the speed that you're doing it, so you make sure that you do it very quickly. And the 3, the largest hit that you can do. So those 3 main factors, are the things that matter for guild boss. So I apologize, I just woke up. Jake's still sleeping on the couch, so we're gonna try to get this done. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump all my cards that I don't need to keep right now. I'm gonna go drop these, and I'll drop this because I don't need to keep that for now. And what matters on the guild boss early on is getting a little bit of chip damage in right away, and trying to get the actual buffs that you need to succeed and rank ups to go along with it. So you notice here that I'm getting attacked on Arthur. I got 2 buffs on him, and then I got hit on Lizhawk, which is actually extremely good. So Blue Lizhawk is a new unit that got released on the Merlin banner for 7 Daily since Grand Cross. She is a very pay-to-win unit, just like Jericho would be, and we're gonna go ahead and just attack on these characters in order to get a little bit of extra stuff. So Blue Lizhawk is a really, really good unit for this guild boss because she provides buffs to your team. You'll notice that we're getting points on the left-hand side here, showing exactly what we get. When we do the buffs, we actually get a lot of them. So I actually got an interesting merge here where we get a lot of different things that we need right away. But I really don't want to do too much damage too early, so I'm going to go ahead and use some Lizhawk abilities to dump them. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to just do dump. dump. We'll do a quick cleanse, and then we're also going to do another buff onto the Lizhawk. And I want to do the buff on the Lizhawk last, so I do the least amount of damage. You also notice that you get little missions that fly up on the left-hand side there, so that you know you got a little bit extra points. The missions, of course, are different on global than they are in JP, and the reason I'm not doing this on the global version right now is because I'm actually unable to, because I'm auto-farming books right now. And I haven't built out all the teams I need to do for this. So I'm going to go ahead and do a merge onto this freeze here. I'm going to go ahead and buff my Lizhawk. I'm going to freeze the dude, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a 3-star Lizhawk. Now Lizhawk has a nice ability where her actual physical ability is going to do more damage based on the number of buffs on the target. And since we have a level 2 freeze here, we're going to do a significant amount of damage, and looks like we're doing a total of 185,000 to the target. I bet you we could probably push that to about 300,000 or more if I really try. So looking at the guild boss here, I got about 442 points, not the best, and I did take a little bit longer, took a little bit more damage. Didn't get the best cards, probably can get a much higher on that, and if I do missions, obviously it'll be much higher. So you can see here I got 2 of the 3 missions that I could do this week, and if I got, of course, all 3 missions, that would have been even more points. I think I could probably push this to about 600 points with this particular team with these stat values, and that's a max that I could probably get. Alright guys, so we're going to go over the guild boss on the normal version, and in the normal version for the guild boss, we will be using a super overpowered team that you cannot use on global first, and then we'll be using the global friendly team. The reason we're using the overpowered team is because we want to show you guys the Japanese version, how we're doing the guild boss, so you don't compare yourself to the actual values that we're doing in global. So it's going to be very different. So on the guild boss, you notice that he starts out with all debuff skills. Unfortunately, you cannot remove his debuff skills. He's going to be completely immune to any debuff sealing abilities. So don't think you can actually just be really, really cheeky and get away with debuff skill removal. So I'm going to go ahead and start this up with a Merlin, and then go ahead and use a Dairy Area attack. And then following that, I'm going to go ahead and do a, I'm going to go ahead and use this Gustav attack, and following that use a Merlin attack. Now you can see here the boss doesn't have a large amount of HP, so a lot of you guys in global, you'll be able to burn through the boss's HP very, very, very quickly if you're able to do these kinds of normal damage values. So it's not an extremely difficult boss, but it is somewhat difficult. So just realize that it will be difficult for you guys to do in global at the first time, and notice that the Merlin shield that we have here is doing very, very well. This is not the red Merlin that we have on global right now. This is actually the green Merlin, and her shield makes this fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for Derriere. I'm going to go ahead and drop this buddy, and then we'll drop this right here. And then see the attack seal that we're going to be using for my go-through is actually going to work. So any attack sealing character will work, and the boss does have attack skills. I didn't come in with a tier 1.
Herself just subscribed. Ida 3344 gifted a tier 1 sub to face herself. They have given 6 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you, Ida. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're having a great day. Alright, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a merge here on this. I'm going to do a move on my Derriere, and then we're going to use an attack. We're going to use a buff on the Derriere. Unfortunately, I'm not getting everything I need here, but we're just going to go ahead and go in. Right away, I'm going to go ahead and do a rank up right on my... do a rank up on my Gustav Freeze to get that up for next turn. Now, the goal of a guild boss, just to show you guys... I'll talk to you in a second. The goal of the guild boss right here is we're going to do as much damage as possible in order to get the max value points. And I don't have everything I need. I don't have like a ton of boosts and other things for here. But right now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my Gustav Freeze here. Then I'm going to go ahead and use my Derriere attack, which is going to do an ultimate ability against the 3-star Gustav Freeze, and then filing that doesn't really matter what we do. The whole strategy of the guild boss is to do as much damage as possible to the guild boss, and by doing as much damage as possible, you get a large point value. You also get point values from cards and other things. So overall, that's what the strategy is for the guild boss, and you're trying to do a very, very large point value damage in order against a very... a boss that you can use other mechanics against. Derriere is a really nice character here because, of course, she gives buffs to herself, and that is actually a very valuable thing. There's also going to be missions along for the guild boss that give you extra point rewards, so you can actually get a little bit extra points out of that. But the way that pay-to-play players and other players are able to get high point values on the Japanese version is by getting lots and lots of damage in one hit at the very end. All right, guys, so every single week when you finish the guild boss, you're going to get a notification on Sundays, I believe, at midnight or 1 a.m. or whatever it will be. And in that thing, it's going to pop up on the screen saying, hey, you completed the guild boss, you're going to get lots of rewards, and you'll accept them, and they will go to your mail, and they'll be right here in the top mail tab. For being top 0% in the guild, Zil Boss, of course, we're getting the 1 free SSR medal and 600 Knighthood coin. Alright guys, well, my name is Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Sorry, my mouth is really dry right now. Still pre-coffee. It's super early in the morning, so... So thank you again for watching. If you do want to help out the channel, of course, like and subscribe. It really does help out. It promotes the videos on YouTube, algorithm, all that crap there. So again, have a great rest of your day, guys. Oh, and side note, if you do want to join us, we're always live on Twitch every single day except for Wednesdays, so join us there. Peace.